or just cover with a thick layer of compost and plant directly into that. B-roll break? B-roll break. Okay, so let's talk about some slow garden starting methods because it's summer and we have the time to do it, right? I want to begin the slow method section by describing my ideal method of starting a garden from scratch first, and then break down some simple variations that could be made. First, I go through the process of evaluation as described here at this time in the video, in case you skipped it. Okay, hey, so I'm reshooting this part because I can, right, and the first time I did it wasn't very good. But I want to now switch over to slow methods in this section, and I want to begin the slow method section by describing my ideal method of starting a garden from scratch first, and then break down some simple variations that could be made. It used to be that I would simply tarp an area for several weeks or even months, and then once the sod was dead, I would pile compost on top of that, usually in like 8-inch beds, and often with some cardboard below. And that's like your no-dig method, and it works great. But lately I have been leaning more towards raising my beds first, because the raised beds seem to help a little bit with our heavy rainfall events that we have here in Kentucky. So what I've been doing more lately to great effect is actually plowing, then raising the beds, and then tarping to kill weeds for a few warm weeks. After that, if I have compost, I will cover those beds with 4 to 6 inches of compost and plant a cover crop for several months. If I don't have the compost, I will still, well, cover crop. Cover crops work well on their own, but that compost and cover crop combination is definitely my ideal. This creates low weed pressure, really nice soil tilth, but of course it does take a lot of time. Like, you have to put that area out of production for an entire season. But I did say it was my ideal. So anyway, I'm going to kick it back to my old dorky self. So I'll see you later. When done in the fall, this combo of compost and cover crops, to me, really creates the perfect soil for spring or early summer plantings. The cover crops slowly work the compost into the soil and boost the requisite microbial populations. It also keeps weeds at bay while pumping the soil full of energy in the form of carbohydrates. In my opinion, you cannot buy better soil than that. Of course, you can do a similar thing without compost, especially on a larger scale where the economics may not work out to use that much compost. You could simply break the ground, raise the beds if desired, tarp for the weed seeds for several weeks, and then sow a cover crop after that. That works too. Having plants growing is always the best and most valuable thing you can do to your soil in terms of soil health. Just think of plants as like little power plants. Oh, power plants, that's clever. Just literally pumping energy into the soil. That's essentially what cover crops and all plants do. They fill the soil with energy that your crops can later tap into. Just do your research with cover cropping. Every cover crop is different and you will need to select the right one. Another alternative is just to form deep compost mulch beds with a nice compost, put a weed barrier down, layer about 8 inches of compost, and then let that sit over the winter. Then plant early in the spring. Super easy. That's a fine way to get into a garden.